Hello, hello, what up? It's John, your movie madman, and I'm back. So, whoop. Hello, how are you? Good? Yep, that's what I like to hear. Today, I'm going to talk about two films. I'm going to talk about two films. I'm going to talk about The Game, and I'm going to talk about Gone Girl. I decided to do these two films in one video because they're both directed by David Fincher, who is one of my all-time favourite directors. And I've picked these two specifically because one of them is a 2K restoration, one of them is a 4K restoration. You guys have all seen when I did my unboxing of that. This is the 2K restoration of The Game, and Gone Girl, that's not the 4K restoration. I just wanted to have something to show you because I got the 4K restoration of Gone Girl on Prime Video. But yeah, so the 2K The Game actually probably looked better than the 4K restoration of Gone Girl, to be fair. The picture detail, the quality, the colours they're all pretty amazing for The Game, I thought. Like, there's a lot of people wearing suits and you can just see like cotton on the suits, which is pretty cool. Like close-ups of people's faces all look really good. You can like see people sweating, you see people crying, you see people bleeding. Ugh. So my nephew won't like it because there's blood in it. If you haven't seen The Game, I don't want to spoil it. I mean, if you haven't seen Gone Girl, I don't want to spoil that either, because they're both pretty amazing films. I mean, out of everything I've seen directed by David Fincher, I've only ever seen one of his films that I thought was shite, and that was his latest film. So, when he made Mank, he did Mank in 4K, but it was black and white 4K, and I get black and white 4K. Some black and white 4K films I've seen look really good, and to be fair, 4K Mank did look really good, and I see what he did there, but it's based on Citizen Kane, and I thought Citizen Kane was crap. I'm sorry. If you love Citizen Kane, then that's fine, like, love it. But as far as I'm concerned, the entire film was based on a plot error. So, the whole thing, for you, those of you that don't know, most of Citizen Kane is about a man's dying word. So there's a man that's dying in bed, and he dies, and as he dies, he says, "Rosebud." Right, that's all good and well, I get that, but there was no one else there. No one else would have heard him say Rosebud. So why they're banging on about it for the whole film? Because there was no one there, and it's not like anyone ever plays a recording of his dying words. But they're banging on about this guy's dying words all the way through the film, and no one was even there. So, I don't know what is going on with that movie. It was so boring. And then David Fincher made Mank, which as far as I'm concerned was a boring film based on a boring film. So, I kind of expected it to be boring anyway. I mean, Gary Oldman did a good job, but he does in most films he's in. But I mean, all in all, I thought Mank was pretty poo. So, I'm sorry, David. You dropped down in my categories of favourite directors. You used to be my number one, and now you're my number two. So, I'm sorry, David, but you upset me that day when I watched Mank, expecting it to hopefully be good because he made it, and it still wasn't. So, I was a little bit upset. But yeah, so the 2K restoration of The Game, I thought was great. The way I don't know if I've talked before about David Fincher. He likes to use like a yellow filter over his camera for inside shots, and there's a blue filter on his camera for outside shots, or sometimes he switches it around, but he usually uses a yellow filter or a blue filter for most of his films. You'll notice that. If you go back and watch some of his other films, you will notice that there is a bit of a filter over most of the shots in most of his films. But yeah, the use of this filter was great in The Game. It really brought stuff out. It really like brightened up details in the picture as well, which I thought was absolutely beautiful. But I'll tell you what, when it got to Gone Girl was probably my favourite David Fincher movie. there's a lot of stuff in there. I think I really wanted to enjoy it, and I was trying really hard to force myself to like the 4K. The 4K, it's only a digital 4K, it's not like a true 4K, so I'm willing to buy a hard copy and compare it, but they don't get the digital 4K. I'll be honest with you, the picture is so much better on Blu-ray. I bought the digital copy on Prime Video, and I thought it was terrible. There's parts of it where the picture is so dark you can't even see the characters' faces. And it's like, am I supposed to understand what's going on right now? I can't see anything. Turn the bloody light on. I felt like I was watching Alien vs Predator 2. Although we've gone through the lighting in that in a different video, so I'm not going to go through that again. In fact, I probably was talking about this film as well when I mentioned that. So I'm trying not to repeat myself too much. There are parts of Gone Girl where you see close-ups of people's faces, and it looks amazing. Like, hair detail looks amazing. The back of Ben Affleck's hand looks gorgeous, as weird as that might sound. You know, like, there's a shot at the beginning where he's stroking Amy's head. You can see all those hairs, and you see the hairs on the back of his hand as well. And her face, like, I've never been so interested in a woman's face in all my life. 75% of that film is too dark. You can't see what's going on. The 25% of the film where you can see what's going on looks absolutely beautiful. You know, there are popping colours in there which look beautiful. There are facial details and clothing details which all look amazing. But the rest of it is too dark. Far, far, far too dark. If I was to compare the game to Gone Girl, I would say that the game looked better. I wouldn't have said the game was the better film, but picture quality wise, the game looked so much better. And that was only a 2K restoration as well, so I look forward to seeing how the 4K restoration of that looks. I quite look forward to that, if they ever do it. I mean, they've done the 2K one now, so hopefully they'll do a 4K as well. I hope they did. I've had a few 2K restorations of films that I hear they're now doing 4K restorations of, so I look forward to a lot of them. But yeah, I mean, the game was beautiful. Gone Girl, don't bother. Watch it on Blu-ray. Watch it in 1080p, because you can actually see what's going on in the 1080p version. But that 4K restoration on Prime Video, I'm sorry Prime Video, but you probably had nothing to do with the transfer of that. But it's too dark. I have said that already, so I don't want to keep repeating myself. I'll probably do some more David Fincher reviews soon as well. I'm going to do one on Seven. I'm going to do one on Fight Club. I'm going to do one on Panic Room. So there's a bunch of David Fincher movies I want to do reviews of. So that's these two. I won't be doing a review of Mank. My review of Mank is what I said about in this video. So the only time I'm ever going to mention it is when I'm talking about crap films. I'm sorry, but don't base a film on a boring film. What can I say? I apologise if I've offended anyone by saying I didn't like Citizen Kane. But at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. You know, and we all know what the word opinion means. So I'm sure you'll get over it. So I'm going to go now, before I start losing subscribers. If you could like this video, that'd be amazing. If you could subscribe to this channel, that would be amazing. But besides that, I'm going to poo off, and I will see you in my next video.